Hey, welcome to the best episodes of Credit 101. This is episode 21. In this episode we're going to talk about when to actually get professional help when it comes down to your credit. And when I talk about professional help, I'm talking about you guys have negative accounts on your credit reports, like what to do, like the accounts are not coming off. I have tried to dispute. It's different situations, there's different reasons why you should get help. We're going to talk about when you should actually do that. And then I actually have a guide. So if you guys already have the membership, you guys can download this guide down below. So I talk about 5 different steps. We're going to go over step 1 now, and then you just go over the other different ones. But it's 5 different steps so you can decide and you can know what you guys can do if you need to get professional help. But this guide is going to be great so that you guys don't have to just wonder or have questions. You can figure out the answers to your actual questions on if you guys should get help, and then how you can actually get that help. If you don't have a membership yet, go ahead and use the $1 trial that I have for 7 days to get your membership. It's over 40 different downloads in there, from checklists, dispute letters, guides, different worksheets, kind of like this guide that we have here. And then also it's over 200 actual videos. So definitely check it out. It is only a $1 trial to start. So definitely check it out. Let's actually look at this guide. I don't want to spend a lot of time just talking. I want to actually go through this guide. So when you're repairing your credit, it can be very overwhelming. So especially if you guys have like multiple errors in your credit reports, collections, or just complex disputes altogether, this guide is going to help you handle the credit repair process on your own, or if you need to seek help is going to tell you about seeking help. So step 1, you have to assess your credit situation. If you need to know if you need to really get help, you need to see what's your problems. So first evaluate to determine if you can manage the credit repair alone or you're going to need help. So do you have multiple errors on your credit report? Yes or no? If you have multiple errors on your credit reports, honestly, now I only think about suing these different companies. I don't think about personally like paying these companies or just focusing on only the disputes. If the disputes don't work, I want to go straight to suing. I don't want to play games with these companies. So if you got multiple errors, you may think, okay, let me just start off with help, because I already got 10 accounts and I know this is going to be a big problem, or I already did 2 months of disputes that didn't come off. You got multiple errors, then you may determine, hey, I need to get some help with this. Are there unresolved collections and judgments against you? Do you have, Midland, LVMV funding, ERC? Do you have these companies saying that you owe them? Do you have any judgments that's out there too? But don't forget, judgments should not be on your credit report. If you guys have the membership, check out the episode on judgments if you do have them. And I have a free dispute letter inside the membership that you guys can use to remove the judgments from your credit report. So definitely check that out. But that would mean you need professional help. Do you have inaccurate public records like bankruptcies and tax liens? Then you might need additional help with that, because don't forget, bankruptcy have to report a certain way on your credit report, and tax, not just tax liens, but just liens. Liens should not be on your credit reports at all. Only thing that they're reporting in terms of public records is bankruptcy. Are you unsure about how to dispute errors on your credit report? If you're unsure, or if you haven't talked to anybody to know like the different things that's out there, then maybe you do need to seek some help. And that's why I say, you know what, let me go to school to be a lawyer, because I learned so much about this here with the FCRA, but it's so much more to it. And to me, it's really suing. That is the biggest thing of it all, is suing. And I just feel like we don't have enough representation in terms of suing. So I said, I need to get more information. I need to get more education. And that's why I'm in school now. So that is good. So you guys may need to pursue more. And since I was unsure about how to do certain disputes or, certain lawsuits, I'm in school right now to learn that. I'm seeking professional help. And I'm actually telling me, have you been a victim of identity theft or fraud? If you've been a victim of identity theft and fraud and you actually did your dispute already and they have not removed it, maybe you need to get professional help. If you have not did the fraud, I did a episode inside of Credit 101 where we talked about identity theft and fraud, and I told you guys the steps you need to go to get these accounts from off your credit reports, and they should be off your credit reports within 10 days. I told you guys the steps, and if you have done those steps and it has not worked, then you need to seek help. But just in case somebody want to know what the steps are, when it come down, it's very simple in a way. When it come down to, if you guys do have fraud on your credit report, you need to file a FTC report. So go ahead and file your identity theft with the FTC. Use that to file your credit, file not the credit report. Use your FTC report and get you a police report about it, and then you take both of those and you mail it with a dispute letter to the credit bureaus, telling them to remove the fraudulent accounts from your credit reports, and they're supposed to remove it. I will also send both of those reports to each account that you have listed as fraud. So if you had a Discover account on your credit report that was fraud, you want to mail a letter to them also. But if this seems like a lot, because that's supposed to be really the end. After they get that letter, they supposed to remove it. Like, we're not gonna go back and forth. Maybe they're gonna want additional information if they really do think it was you. But other than that, that thing should be off your credit reports. If they don't do what they need to do right away, we really need to get used to this. So one of the companies, like, seriously. But that's how you would do the identity theft, just in case somebody have it. It's that's how you would take care of it. It's supposed to be removed. Is your credit score affecting your ability to get loans, housing, employment, and you're having problem? And then maybe you need to seek help to figure out what you need to do to get the loan that you want, the house that you want, or the job that you want, in terms of what your credit score need to be, or how to get your credit score there. Are you finding that the credit repair process is stressful and confusing? It can be stressful, it can be confusing, but I know this for sure. I'm not gonna lie about this. It's only stressful and confusing because these companies are not deleting accounts from the credit report when they're supposed to. They put duplicate accounts on credit reports. They're collecting on debts after you ask for validation, and they're not sending the correct validation. And they're doing all of this because we're not suing them. So they're going to keep doing this. So it's stressful because they're not doing what they need to do in terms of removing these accounts from our credit reports, but it don't have to be stressful. Like, literally, you can send 2 months of dispute letters, and if they're not doing what they need to do, then you could possibly have a cause of action, which is something I found out. Like, after I sent you a dispute letter, you did not respond to me with a debt for my validation of debt. You did not respond. You put on my credit report. Then you put a duplicate amount, and then you got a amount that's not correct on top of that. Like, this is a lawsuit. Like, I could continue to dispute this account, or I could just go ahead and sue, which is what it needs to be. And when you sue, you want to get stuff moving faster than if you was to just keep, basically, if you ask me, just running your mouth, sending a dispute letter. Because that's what I was harsh with myself with the reality of how I talk to myself. Like, you're going to just keep running your mouth and they're not going to delete it. Like, you need to sue them. Like, that's the reality you have to come up to before. But if it feels stressful, that's because these companies not doing what they need to do. So you need to just do what you need to do and protect yourself. But there's so many other things on here that you guys can be able to go through. Like, consider, doing on your own, when to actually seek help, finding the help that you need, and then monitoring the process, staying informed. This document is available down below if you guys have the membership. So go ahead and just download the document and go through the guide. If you guys are in a membership, you have questions, schedule a call with me. I'll be happy to go over any questions that you guys have, because I'm telling y'all, it don't have to be that complicated. Like, when it comes down to these accounts, it really don't. These credit bureaus and these companies are making it complicated because they're not doing what they need to do, honestly. But I will definitely see you guys in the next video. If you don't have a membership, go ahead and get the membership down below in the comments and the description. It's $1 trial for 7 days, and it's over 70 different downloads. So not 70, 40. So you definitely gonna appreciate it. Hopefully I'll add more over time. Tell me what y'all need, and I'll see if I can create something for everybody to help with that, especially if it's a guy. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to episode 22 of the best episodes of Credit 101. The original episode for Credit 101 is actually episode 63. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about a worksheet that I put together. It's good to track money. Like, say if you were to get some extra income, what you guys can use that for in terms of your debt, like paying off debt, or should you be putting money into your emergency fund? Should you be taking some of it and just having fun with it? I don't know about you guys, but I used to always just be like, okay, I'm gonna just take this amount and do this with it, take this amount and do this with it. And maybe I didn't put it towards the most important things. So that's why I put this together. And I also want to make sure I teach my kids things like this, or even for myself, I can just, it helps me separate like how my money is, and if I was to get a large amount. So I just want to show you guys the same thing, because you guys can use this to determine what you want to do with your money if you were to get extra money and you just don't know what to do, or you plan on blowing it and it's something better that you can do. So let's actually look at this. If you guys have the membership, you can download it right below. Just go ahead and download it, and then print it out or use it in your iPad and start filling it out when you get extra money, or if you have extra money now and you really don't know what to do with it. If you don't have a membership, it's literally $1 for the first 7 days, literally. And then it's $9.99 at the time of recording this. So I know it may go up, but just go ahead and check and see how much it is at the time of recording this. Let's get into the guide. So here it is here. So when you guys receive extra income, whether it's going to be a bonus, a tax refund, tax season is coming up, you got a side hustle, or you just had like unsuspected windfall where you just got some money out of nowhere, I want you guys to come up with a plan on what to do with that extra income. So I want you guys to calculate what it is. Maybe it's multiple things. Maybe you got some side hustle income. Maybe you get a tax refund. You got a bonus or commission. Maybe you got a gift or whatever it can be. Go ahead and put those numbers here and then figure out what's the total you have. Now, you guys can prioritize your debts. These is just how I would kind of look at it as, especially depending on your situation, because I have been listening to Dave Ramsey some. So it is certain ways I would love to put things, but if you get a large sum of money and you just want to evenly get ahead on everything, then this can be a good one for you. So make sure that you put at least 20% towards your emergency fund. If you already have your emergency fund there, then maybe you want to put it towards the next thing, which is paying off debt. You already putting 30% on that, but maybe you want to actually put full 50% on that. Investing in your future, whether you're going to do the retirement or like the college savings account, you can put 20% there. You can set aside some stuff for like some short-term goals. Maybe you wanted to have a vacation, so maybe you put to the side the 15%. And maybe you want to do a home repair. So maybe you like, oh, let me put to the side 15%, and then I'll use all of that money to repair whatever I need to repair around the house at the time, or just put that for later on. And then maybe you just want to treat yourself with only 15% and not the full 100%. But these are the different percentages. Maybe you just want to put 15%, in your pockets. You can do whatever you want to do with it. And then that can actually be your vacation too. But this is a nice breakdown of what you can do. You can pick what you want to put it towards, but this worksheet can be great where you can actually just fill it out. So again, where are you going to put it? Are you going to put a percentage towards these different funds, and what's the amount you're going to do? This is where you're going to actually fill it in. So I know for emergency fund, I say, hey, do 20%. Maybe you want to do 0%. Like I said, do 50% towards your debt. Go ahead and fill this out so that you can know where to put it, and then we'll start filling everything out. So for the emergency fund, Dave Ramsey talk about, if you try to be debt free, you go ahead and put $1,000 to the side. Maybe you're trying to put your full 3 to 6 months of expenses to the side too. So you can go ahead and fill this out and put it in like months. Maybe you're getting multiple ones, or maybe you're just going to have just one check. So you could put here exactly how much you're going to save, like what's your goal and how much you're going to actually save. If you want to separate and say, hey, for the next 6 months, I want to get to my goal for my emergency fund. I know I need 15,000. Let me go ahead and separate it. Let me divide it for 6 months. And then you want to put your goals and then how much you actually save. That'd be good too. Now, down payment on high interest debt. Do you got some credit cards? What's the interest rate? Whichever one is the highest, that's what you should put the money down on. And usually a lot of times it's going to be credit cards, especially if you guys are not paying your statement balance by the due date. Okay, it's definitely gonna be those credit cards, but figure out what's the highest interest, and whatever you said you're gonna put down on paying down your debt, go ahead and do that. And if you was to, what if you had a personal loan and you had more than enough money to pay this one, maybe you want to pay off 2, maybe you want to pay off 3, or you can double back and pay off more later on, but just get started. and put the amounts that you want to put in here. Did you want to put some money into your IRA? Did you say you was going to invest some for the future? What percentage? And then how are you going to break it down? Are you going to put more money into your IRA this year, your 401k, maybe the college savings, the 529 plan for your kids or whoever? Then definitely go ahead and fill in the amount that you had contributed to those. Do you guys have any short-term goals? Remember, I think this was like 15% on the original, but you can put a certain amount, like, hey, for the vacation fund, I'm going to put $200 in there. For the home improvement, I want to put $400. But you can put the amount that you're going to put on here and put to these different things. Again, this is really something that's just going to track it. That's all this was about. You actually really putting it down on paper and doing it. I've been writing a lot. I need to write a lot. It's better for me to have it down so I can keep looking at it instead of me just saying I'm gonna do it in my head. I have to write it down, and I think in a lot of people in our community, I'm guessing, don't write a lot of stuff down. So it's best just to write it down. That way, especially if you know you're getting $10,000 next month, before the money come, you have this written down. Because once that money come, you might decide to put it all into treating yourself. So it would be best to say exactly what you're going to do with that money, so that you don't have to worry about using that money on something you shouldn't use it on. So treating yourself. What if you said 15%? Okay, what is that 15% going to be broken down to? Dining and entertainment? Are you doing shopping or personal care? What exactly you're going to do? And then you can track your progress all together, like how much did you want to put in there and how much you actually put in there. And again, the thing is, when you have this extra money, it's extra income, go ahead and put it towards something, especially if you do like a side hustle, and with that side hustle you're technically trying to use that to pay off debt or to fill in these numbers. You see, it was multiple spots where you can go on for months, like the emergency fund. We got 6 different spots, 7 different spots. Maybe you want to set a 6-month goal to put money in there from your side hustle alone. This is what this thing can be really good for. But when you guys get this extra money, please do something good with it. What's the point of really having extra money when it's going to be so temporary, when it's not really pushing you forward? So I always think about that, like, how is this really going to push me forward when it come down to money? So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. If you guys are in a membership, I'll make sure I answer your question directly. Make sure you download it. Download this actual guide and start filling it out, especially if you get extra money or if you got a side hustle, you're trying to figure out what to do with the extra money. This can be good for you. And if you don't have a membership, it's $1 for the first 7 days and then $9.99 at the time of recording this. Is no reason why you cannot have it, because less than $10 a month, like, is very, very cheap. It's no reason why you shouldn't have it. I'll see you guys in the next one.